beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel, Shael's Legacy. I am your host, Chitel, and thank you so much for coming. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for taking the time to press on my little picture or whatever kind of thumbnail I tried to put up there, and you pressed it. Thank you for coming here. And I ask that you go ahead and subscribe. You are welcome here. It's a safe place. We ain't got no drama, no nothing going on here, girl. All we do is cook. And so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit it to all so that you be notified every time I put out one of my amazing videos. And if you have been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I truly do appreciate it. It makes your girl's heart beat fast every time I see somebody here watching me. And if you are one of my A1 day ones, hey boo, go ahead and put your trophy down in the comment section so you can let everybody know that you are one of my MVPs so they can put some respect on your comment. And just in general, guys, just thank you so much for being here. I hope you guys have been having a great week. Today is, I don't have my phone by me. I don't know what today is. I can't even take maybe it might be the 27th, the 28th of March. Let me see so I ain't looking crazy. Okay. Today is March 29th. Sorry. So this month is just about gone, y'all. And to be honest with you, my anniversary, girl, what's today, Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. So my anniversary is either tomorrow, Friday. Like I said, it was the story behind that. Let me tell this story right quick. When we were married, and I believe my husband was definitely in the military. But I'm trying to think when we did this year. Was he? No, he was out of the military at this time. Okay. Let me give you the backstory on me and my husband. We were boyfriend and girlfriend when I was in 6th grade. We lived up the street from each other. He lived on one end of the street. Really, it wasn't that far. I lived on one half, he lived on the other half. And we were boyfriend, girlfriend. Girl, I don't know what I was doing. I was in 6th grade, okay? And, he was still, at this time, like now, I feel so bad for these kids nowadays because it is nothing like it was when we were growing up. When we were growing up, the boys would be in the street playing street football, or they would go to the local park and they would be playing basketball. So the boys were always doing their thing and the girls were doing our thing and so forth. And my dad was, he was strict, but he wasn't like strict. Because you figure he had he had 4 girls living in a house with him, plus my brother. And so us girls, especially us younger ones, the 3 youngest ones, we really couldn't do anything. It's like we could go outside, but we couldn't go past the neighbor's house on the left or the neighbor's house on the right. Can y'all imagine riding bikes and you can only go, it was the neighbors on the left, neighbors on the right, and I'm probably doing my hands wrong, and then us in the middle. And that was a small patch that we could ride our bikes or our skates on and stuff. And so it was just us. And y'all, do y'all remember the skates where they were like, I'm gonna see if I can find a picture when I post this. I'm gonna try and insert it, but it was like, guys, this was the best picture I could find, but these look very similar to the skates I'm trying to describe to you. Boy, I'm old. A flat skate, and it had like 4 wheels, and you could like adjust it. They were metal, not the plastic ones that later came along when my kids were kids, but they were metal. And you could like adjust them to your shoes. You kept your shoes on and you put these skates on, and girl, we would be skating down the street and see, you couldn't tell us nothing. And then we had the little bikes with the 3 wheels, and Then eventually we would, grow up to ride a two-wheeler and stuff. But we used to have fun like that. We would do hopscotch, make hopscotch on the sidewalk in front of the house, because you had the house, your lawn, the sidewalk, and then some more grass, and then the street, the curb in the street. So we would play out on the sidewalk, and we would do hopscotch. We would make the patterns, and we would be doing that, and the Mother May I, and who's some of the other ones? Y'all name some of the ones that have Mother May I, red light, green light. What was some of the other ones? I can't remember that, but we used to do the drills and stuff too. Roll call, shaboom. Check me out. Roll call, shaboom. Check me out. My name is and I'm a Some girls don't like me. They want to fight me. Oh my God. Girl. Yes, we used to do the little stupid shit. But at that time, it was fun, and the street was fun. Everybody was playing. We didn't have our parents out there really watching. I mean, you always had the one parents that was sitting out watching everything. So you made sure you didn't do anything. I just felt bad that my kids and these kids nowadays, they will never experience that. I have a lot of favorite movies, but one of my favorite movies was Crooklyn. And I used to just love that New York. I'm a New Yorker, I'm from New York. And I'm not upstate. I'm just upstate New York, not New York City. But I used to just love watching like the Brownstones, and they'd be sitting out there, the braiding of the hair and the beads and stuff. Yeah, honey, I remember that. Girl, my daughter, her godfather used to tease her all the time, talking about, is she Venus or Serena? Because I used to braid my baby's braid, and I used to put beads all the way down. And she could just swing them, or I put them in a ponytail with beads on it. And the different barrettes and the knockers. Oh my God, those were the good days. Those were really, really, really the good days. And so me and my sisters, we only had us to play with. Like, we would even ask our dads, like, could we go over to our cousin's house? We'd be like, can we go over to Sugar's house? And he'd be like, why? He'd be like, because we want to go play. He was like, well, y'all can play here. So we bonded a lot, and to this day, some people would be like, our bond, even though we are all individual women, we think individually, we act our own different ways or whatever, it was just always the three posh, I'll just tell you, Shani, Danny, Dawn. It was just the three of us, so we didn't have a choice but to be close, because that's all we really had, because my dad wasn't trying to let us go anywhere to do anything. And I admire him for doing that, because, for the most part, it kept us safe as kids. But, once we got to a certain age, some of us went this way, some of us went that way, some of us went, we all went our certain ways. So, yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop and watch this so I can see where I was going, because I'm tired of looking lost and confused in my videos. So yes, I did go back and watch the first half of this video to see where the hell I was going with this story. But I got it. Listen, okay, I'm 50 years old, okay? I'm going to forget a lot. Selectively. But no, I'm just kidding. I was talking about my wedding anniversary. So I met my husband when I was in 6th grade. I don't even know what that was about, because I promise y'all, this man was not trying to be with me. He was a basketball guy. So he would go over, go around the corner, up the street around the corner to play basketball, and that's where he spent his days at. Well, me, honey, I wanted some attention. I'm like, what do you mean you playing basketball? What do you mean you don't want to sit here on this porch? Because my dad won't let me go anywhere else and chit chat with me. What do you mean? What do you mean you don't want to watch your friends walk up and down the street talking about, hey, Ryan, you coming with us? We about to go to, man, we about to do this. What do you mean you want to do that? So that's what he did. And then we were so corny. I don't even know why I did it. This is probably going to be just a story time. I ain't going to lie with y'all. Yeah, a tribute to my anniversary. So I don't know why I did it, because my mother, maybe we hadn't had the talk then. She was a stickler on telling me or teaching me, you do not buy no man Nothing. No, she at that time it was boy. It wasn't man because I wasn't grown, like grown girl. You don't be buying him nothing, girl. Keep you no. That's not what you do. And I'm like, okay. And y'all, I didn't do when I used to buy when I had boyfriends and had to buy a gift. And if any of them watching, now y'all understand. I don't think they are. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. My husband gonna be going crazy. I don't think they are, but I'm just saying, if you happen to come across, it wasn't like I didn't want to buy a gift. My mother just didn't allow it. So if I brought you a little something, I had to sneak and do it. Yeah, and that was hard for me to do because I'm scared. So yeah, if you got a gift, appreciate it. So yeah, so I don't know why, back to the story, girl, I keep going off to the left. My father had always, for Christmas, he would buy his girls a piece of jewelry, whether it was a necklace one year, a ring one year. You know, it was just something. I'm not gonna say every year he did it, but he was the first man that ever brought me a piece of jewelry. So I had a little thin chain, and it had a Nefertiti charm on it. And I must have took that off and gave it to my now husband, then boyfriend. And I was like, I might have been thinking in my head, y'all, I really don't know. Well, surely, if I give him my necklace or let him wear my necklace, surely he would want to come and, sit with me on this porch because my daddy wouldn't let me go anywhere else. Honey, well, that didn't happen. Mind you, at this time, my husband was my brother's. I'm guessing from what they say, they were best friends. I don't know how best friends went back then because I don't remember my husband ever coming in our house hanging out or whatever. But I don't know how it was back then when somebody was your best friend. I don't remember everything. So I went to my brother and I was like, I need my necklace back. You need to go to him and tell him to give my necklace back. I want it back because I'm through. I'm done with you, okay? So anyhow, I guess I got the necklace back. I don't know. And that was basically the end of that. So finally, I moved off of the neighborhood street. I'm sure my parents thought they were doing, good because we were moving up. We were now moving into the suburbs. Yeah, where there wasn't many of us around. So, we as kids, we don't know. We're like, okay, we think we doing it. Hold on, let me take a drink right quick. And I mean a drink, maybe. So we moved all the way across the city. And we're just living life, doing life or whatever. And one day I think I got a letter. I had got a letter in the mail. And I was like, who is this? It was a letter from somebody in Germany. And I'm like, who know my name and my address that live in Germany that's writing me? Girl, it was my husband. And the way he had put his name, without giving his whole government, the way he had did his name is why I was confused because he had used his middle name and another last name. And I was like, I don't know who this is. So I had to call his girl cousin, Dana. If you ever see this, hey, boo, hey. I called her and I was like, is such and such, is this such and such? She's like, yeah, girl, that's him. And the rest is history. That's how the rest is history. Next thing I know, it was exciting because he was doing something different than the other guys that I was around. Now, mind you, I'm not going to tell everything about me, but I never really had a lot of boyfriends. I never was out a social life. I never had to have a lot of friends or be around a lot of people. That just wasn't me. My circle is, when I say small and it continues to get smaller, it's very small. And it was back then as it is now. So, I don't know. It's just me. But so we went ahead and he started you know, pursuing me and you know, sending letters, and I was writing back, and it was great too because back then my mom had got me into collecting stamps. Y'all, I had an awesome, I didn't work it like it should have been worked, but I had an awesome stamp collection due to her. She worked at an art gallery, so they would get mail from all over the world. I got this. And my mom, I got this, y'all. Just be patient. She would collect the stamps, you know, tell the mail people that her daughter was collecting stamps and to, you know, keep them. And she would bring them home for me. And we had looked up how to try and get them off the paper. I had a special magnifying glass. I mean, there were so many special things that she did for me. I'll speak for myself. That she did for me that made me feel like I was her only child, even though I wasn't. I was not. Let me wipe my face. Okay, she had 5 kids. I can't speak from their experiences, and they can't speak from mine. And this might be these stories that, you know, as I think of my mother, or if I'm doing something or cooking something and it brings her to mind, I'm going to talk about it. And what I talk about here are my personal experiences. That's it. But back to the stamp collection. She had got me this, you know, stamp collection, and she was getting the stamps from the art gallery. And, you know, they were getting, you know, this is a big art gallery. They were getting, you know, large amounts of mail from all over the wall, so all over the world. So I had that, and we had learned how to, you know, take them off. And she had brought me this special, like, magnifier. I don't know why. Well, my eyes were bad even back then. Anybody who knows me knows I have really, that whether it is getting better, but my eyesight is, yeah. So, and we would put them like in an album book. I don't know where any of that stuff ever ended. I think once I got married and moved out, yeah, a lot of it got lost. I wish I had kept that. No, I didn't, because I didn't know. Well, probably so. I don't know. They're gone. I don't have it anymore. But it was just like the special things that she did. And I remember even the Dow house me and her built. You know, we built a Dow house, y'all. Y'all, we built a Dow. Let me tell you about Daisy. Girl, we built a Dow house, okay? It wasn't good enough to just build this Dow house, okay? Honey, we had to put shingles on the roof. We had to put bricks on the chimney. We had the wallpaper. We had the wallpaper, the rules. We had to paint it. Girl, I don't understand for the life of me why I never got any of her decorating and crafting skills. I got none of it. My other sisters, they have it. I have none of it. None of it, none of it, none of it. So, and maybe, you know what? I'm not going to say that. Maybe I do. Because by her being gone, it has forced me to do things that I normally wouldn't have done. And I just simply wouldn't have done it because I didn't want to do it and she was good at it. I let her do it. I can't think of anything that woman put her hands on that did not flourish. But it was never good enough for her. Never. And those of you who know her personally, any work that you've seen her do or anything she ever did for you, she did it, but she never liked any of it. It was never good. It was like, it's okay. And I never understood that about her. And I'm like, Mom, this is great. What are you talking? And people would just compliment her. She had decorated one of my houses so damn good. Every house I had, and she staged it, them house sold in a week. In a week. She knew how to do it. She knew how to do. There was nothing she didn't know how to do. She could sew, she could paint, she could wallpaper, she could cook, she could garden, she could, I don't know. There was nothing this woman could do. But she never believed that, which is a good thing, she never believed that it was superb. It was like, eh. And that's what kept her going. That's what kept her moving. That gave her life. That gave her life. And all the gifts that she did, she never held it selfishly. She never held it selfishly. She gave everything. Everything freely. She gave it away. Everything she learned, she gave it away. Everything she was a giver. A giver. Not expecting really much in return. So, I was talking about me and my husband. And our anniversary coming up. So he was in the army. And he did his years in the army. And then he came out of the army and he went to school, which was in Oklahoma, to become a pilot. He wanted to be a pilot. And he got as close as his private, but he was going for his commercial. And then I got sick. And when I got sick, he had to come home. At that time, I had my son. I had Nick. And when I say my mother is so entwined in everything in my life, she was there for everything. Down to me giving birth to my children. She was there. Me and her. So, my husband, he was home from the army. He was in going to pilot school, and I had got sick. So we knew he had to, come home. Because I was never like a sickly person. So before he gets here, my mother's brother worked for a big company. Let's just say that. Let's just say transportation, because eventually it's gonna come out this man don't work from everything: trains, planes, automobiles, everything. Okay, and her brother had told her that his job was hired and so forth, and she was like, I need his resume. Tell him, give me his resume. And we sent it to her, and baby, one thing Daisy could do is a resume, a cover letter, and everything. Like I said, y'all, her talents surpassed her amazing. So, make a long story short, he started with this company, and for the most part has been running ever since. So, anniversary. So so then he was in school. When he was in school to be a pilot. Y'all, we didn't have nothing. He was there. I was living in subsidized housing with my son. Daisy was there again. Daisy would come, and she would, I had 2 jobs. So she would come and babysit while I would go to my job, my second job. The first job was during the day, so I could, drop him off at school or daycare at that time. Pick him up from daycare, had to get back home and then go back out to my night job. And at this time I lived downtown, right downtown. So I could just get on the train and it would take me, it's a straight line. So I could walk to the train station, get on the train. And she would be back there, babysitting Nick while I work. And I had worked at an arena, so when they had hockey games, I was like an in-seat server is what they called it. So if you would order your food from your seat, it would come in the kitchen. I would get it, line it up, and bring it out to you. And, that's how that went. And I sometimes, them games go to 11 o'clock. So I would get back on that train, walk back home to go in there. She'd be asleep, and she would have been on fed and bathed my child and everything. And she would get in her car and go back home, which was on the other side of town. So she probably got tired of doing that. She was like, I need your husband to get a better job closer to home. So he got the job, and that, that worked out great for us at that time. But we were struggling. We were still struggling because he was he was still going to school. He was in school. He was getting I believe they called it a GI Bill from the Army. And then he was working, he worked maybe at sometimes up to 3 jobs, normally 2. And I think one would be like at a McDonald's, and the other would be a bouncer at a country bar. And here I am, trying to work my little jobs. We still needed help, and we were still prideful, We were thankful for my mom, but we were very prideful. And so I was already living in subsidized housing, so I went and got, food stamps, and I think I got cash. I can't remember if I got cash. If I did, it wasn't that much. But I remember tracking through the snow with an umbrella stroller. With the kids to get to the grocery store. And then after, when she would get out of work, she would come and she would pick me up, and she was just there for all of that. She was there for all of that. But in order for me to keep getting those benefits, I had to, this is where I'm going with this, y'all. After 30 minutes, I had to falsify. This is YouTube. We had to change some dates around. I don't care. We had to change some dates around. So that's why our wedding date is always a little off. And we didn't have a big wedding either. We went downtown to the Justice of Peace with my parents. And I think my brothers and sisters went there. I don't know. 30 years, y'all. And we went there, and then we went back home. We had a huge barbecue. Family came over. We had a barbecue, and the next day he was off to the war. So that's how that went. So we didn't do anything big. He wanted to be married, I guess, before he went to war. So that's our little quirky story. It's just been us two ever since. Raising each other, I guess. So yeah, no, that's the wrong thing to say. Not right.